welcome to all of you. Today I will discuss about projectiles. When a particle is projected in a space with a certain angle with horizontal axis. Again I say, when a particle is projected in a space with certain angle with horizontal axis, then this path, follows of path is called projectiles. Suppose there are axis, x-axis and y-axis. So this one is horizontal axis and this one is vertical axis. When a particle is initial velocity u, projectile with certain angle alpha with the horizontal axis, then this particle follows this path and this path is called the projectiles. Okay, next, this path AOAC, this path is called the projectiles, and the maximum height, this height is called the maximum height, and point from origin to C, this path is called range, is called range. So OC is equal to range, and u is the initial velocity, certain angle alpha with the horizontal axis. Then u is divided two components, one have horizontal component, another have vertical components. So horizontal component will be u cos alpha and vertical component u sin alpha. At t is equal to 0, the horizontal component does not change, always constant, but vertical component, that's mean u sin alpha is changed according to the gravitational acceleration. So always horizontal component is constant, but vertical component will be the varies. So suppose certain time, after certain time, this point will be p point. Okay, so the velocity will be changed according to the gravitational acceleration. So now the particle velocity is v. So v will be component 2, one is horizontal component, another have vertical component. So suppose angle is theta, so v cos theta, another have v sin theta. So distance from origin is x and time taken t. So x is equal to u cos alpha into t, because we know that displacement is equal to velocity into time. So displacement x from for certain time t and velocity will be u cos alpha. So x is equal to u cos alpha into t. Okay. Now I will discuss about the equation of projectiles. Okay. So equation of projectiles, first of all we know that s is equal to, from displacement s is equal to ut plus half of at square. There acceleration and gravitational acceleration, this equation will be changed. Suppose this height will be y, so y is equal to ut plus half of minus g into t square cube, because the gravitational acceleration is negative about the acceleration, that's why the g is negative. So u is equal to velocity, u is equal to vertical component, u is equal to velocity will be u sin alpha into t. T from this equation number 1, calculate t from this equation, t is equal to x by u cos alpha. So putting this value, so t is equal to u x divided u cos alpha, x by u cos alpha minus half g t square, t means x by u cos alpha whole square. So this equation will be, you cancel out, x sin alpha by cos alpha tan alpha minus half g x square by u square cos square alpha. So this one is the equation for equation of projectile motion. Okay, again I will discuss whole things. First of all, suppose certain time, after certain time t, so velocity component of for horizontal axis u cos alpha, so displacement will be x is equal to u cos alpha into t. So t is equal to x by u cos alpha. Okay. Next, vertical after certain time the vertical displacement is y. So y is equal to, you know that s is equal to ut plus half of at square. So y is equal to ut plus half of a means the acceleration of negative acceleration for due to gravity minus g, opposite direction act. So half minus g t square. So u sin alpha, putting this value, u is equal to u sin alpha, because the vertical component of velocity is equal to u sin alpha. That's why we put u is equal to u sin alpha, and t is equal to x by u cos alpha. So x by u cos alpha minus half of g t, putting these values of t. So calculate, and then the next y is equal to x tan alpha minus half of g x square by u square cos square alpha. This one is the equation for projectiles. Okay. Next I will discuss the time and height, maximum height or maximum height. We will discuss it about maximum height and time of floating. That's mean, so how much time is required for this reach to this point. Okay. Now I calculate the maximum height and time taken for this maximum height. Okay. So for this maximum for this path of OBC, the B is the highest point. B is the highest form for this projectile motion, projectile path. So now I calculate this height this height OB is equal to h. That when the particle is reached from B point, then velocity, vertical component of this velocity will be 0. Just only varies for the horizontal component of this velocity. So now we calculate the height for calculation for h. Now we are use this equation v square. We know that v square is equal to u square minus 2gh. So at point B, the v will be 0. V is 0. When a particle is reached the maximum point, then its velocity will be 0. So v is equal to 0. Now v is equal to 0. 0 is equal to u square minus 2g capital H. Height will be h. So 2gh is equal to u square. U square means u sin alpha. U means component for u sin alpha whole square, 2gh. Now h is equal to u square sin square alpha by 2g. This is the equation for maximum height. So maximum height h is equal to u square sin square alpha by 2g. Okay. Now I calculated the time taken from point O to B. Time taken for the point O to B. So suppose let the time is t. So we are use the equation v is equal to u minus gt. V is equal to u minus gt. I calculate the time taken for reach the maximum height at point V. So equation, we are use this equation v is equal to u minus gt, where v is equal to 0, u is equal to u sin alpha. Suppose t is equal to capital T. So small t is equal to, let small t is equal to capital T. So gt is equal to u sin alpha and t is equal to u sin alpha by g. This is the equation for time taken to reach a particle the point B. Okay. Again I explain this equation. So v square, first of all, when a particle is reached point O to B, this time taken, how much time taken, and the maximum height h. So we are use the at point V, the velocity component of horizontal axis is constant, but vertical axis varies with the vertical axis. That's why we are use equation v square is equal to u square minus 2gh at the point V. But at the point when a particle reaches to the maximum point, then its velocity is 0. That's why at the point B, v is equal to 0. So put the value v is equal to 0, u is equal to u sin alpha, and h is equal to capital H. Then calculating whole process, and h is equal to u square sin square alpha by 2g. Next, I calculating the time taken to reach this point B. So only the vertical velocity of vertical velocity component is varies. So v is equal to u minus actually plus at, but a is equal to minus g, that's why v is equal to u minus gt. So v is equal to 0, 0 is equal to u sin alpha minus g capital T, so t is equal to u sin alpha by g. This too is most important for this chapter, calculating the t for maximum height, and maximum height is equal to u square sin square alpha by 2g. Okay, next I calculating the range and floating time. Range and floating time. What is the range? Now point when a particle or when a object is thrown, then his point where his point is lies. So distance between the origin point to this point is equal to range. Next calculating the range and how many times, how much time is required for this to reach this range. Okay, okay. If you are interested for our offline classes, then contact us. The contact details is on the screen and in the description. So goodbye.